What's up, guys? Big D on the TL. And I want to take a look at this Fantastic Four retro Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Big fan of these characters here, and especially the Byrne era costumes. Who doesn't love that, right? But this is the first and only one that I have run into so far. There were 6 of him, 6 of this man. They're doing cases with just a single pack of the figure, which is nice to make sure there's availability, but not if, like, you never see a case of the Invisible Susie, you know. But I do applaud shake-ups, anything over just the standard case selections, and then somebody buys every Ultron and you never see Ultron, and somebody buys every Scarlet Witch and you never see the Scarlet Witch. I thought I remembered maybe a Revision Waves 2014-ish, say, to give us all another shot at that, say, original Carnage figure that I never saw. Again, I never saw. Sorry, I'm not bitter at all. It's great. They're just toys. It's great. First impressions, man, just looking clean and classic, and it gives you all this cool stuff. People are complaining about the salad fingers, and sure, that's not my favorite representation of the powers. I did like the longer arms at least, but I love that he has an optional coat. Come on now, why all this hate? Where's the love? Where's the love? So what I want to do right up front is do this Savage swap around, and we'll just sort of vanilla him out. These actually come out really easily. That's nice. We'll see if that doesn't become problematic in the future. Can't imagine. Strip this all away and get us down to sort of this nice vanilla Fantastic. I'm noticing right away, though, he doesn't have, like, fisted hands, which would be cool, but, you know, how many pairs of hands do you think they want to give us, man? Give me an extra head, an angry, stretched out head, stretched and pissed. Oh, yeah. So he is one of 4 members of the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family, original sort of like family super team. They blew off into space like a bunch of nutcases and got bombarded by cosmic rays. And again, lucky to be alive, these guys. Instead, they got all these fantastic mutations, but still look sexy as hell. This is Reed Richards. Super genius and stretched out fun guy all around. Look at how clean that is, man. Really nice. Getting in closer here, just really inspecting his head. That is sharp. That is the best damn. That's not just a reuse of that old one, is it? It is. It is exactly that. Fine. Be that way. How old is this Walgreens one? So the deco here is really nice, though. This is exactly what you want, and they know that, and they make us wait all this time. It's a long game they're playing. Because, you know, they could have given us pinless joints and all kinds of other cool stuff, but for consistency amongst the Reeds, and I like and think it's appropriate here that you get, you know, you don't just have these like rock hard abs so bulging through, so it doesn't look so painted on, reminiscent of like the Dave Eaglesham stuff John Hickman was writing, and I thought that was great. That stuff blew my mind. Really made me fall in love with the characters and the stories in ways that I never had before. Belt is just painted on here. Everything is just painted on this particular buck, and he's got these really wide feet. So he's going to have the same body and same articulation as the 2 previous Reeds, which is head on a ball peg with this nice neck hinge, which gives you this great range back and looking down. Shoulders are on these ball joints. It's all plain to see. They go all the way around. Nice bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. Wrist hinges in and out. Socketed in there. Ab crunch. Forward, backward, just a little bit. Waist twist, nicely placed right on top of that belt line, so it's practically invisible. Hips, pegs come out this far. Kick forward like such and back. Not very far or at all. You'll just tear it apart. What does he come with? Special coat for his legs? That doesn't even make sense. But those legs sure come off easy enough. It's fine. Double jointed knees. Comes up this far. No calf cut. Again, we're just humping this same body mold. I do appreciate the consistency, though, and this is more than serviceable. Get these good hinges coming back, coming forward, rocking. That's all I got to say about that. So for accessories, he comes with the 2 power effects hands, displaying his ability to elongate his body. He's all elastic and whatever. I know we've seen these fingers reused already, and people aren't particularly happy with it. I mean, it's kind of a weak display as far as that goes. But they look all right. You know what I'm saying? And he comes with the coat, with the lab coat. Technically, this is another sweet accessory. They did this with Moira McTaggart. I loved it. Didn't mean to do that. Here's the regular hands. Some people might just cry foul and be like, he comes with nothing. But really, it's all this stuff. What do you want? Another ultimate nullifier? Buy all the damn toys and you'll have all of the pieces to play with. Yeah, these are a bit silly. But really, I was just looking for this nice, clean representation of this particular costume. Classic Fantastic here stands about 6 3/8 of an inch. And here he is next to his retro and modern looks. Missing a couple of costumes still. The only one that I'd really care about, though, is that one from the mid-later 2000s. With the Mark Millar, Dave Eaglesham. Stuff like that. Whoever was drawing in Millar's run. Miller, it's AR. It's AR. That's how you differentiate that. Why would you spell it that way, bro? Anyway, if you're buying all of these, like a sicko or a collector, or a sicko, you got an ultimate nullifier for all three. You got a jacket for all of them. A bearded head to put on any one you choose. So I do like that. And here he is next to that muscular merman, that puke of a prince, Namor the Submariner. And his better half, the Invisible Woman, Susan Storm Richards. From the Walgreens exclusive pack, and apparently, one of the last fine heads that we'll get. That other thing is hot garbage. That's what I'm going to put that one on the new retro carded one, assuming I can find it. I do dig the translucent arm. And here he is with his boy, Benjamin J., the Thing, and that wicked sick Dr. Doom. I love that figure, except have they recycled the legs, or did they pull him just straight out of the trash? Because he really has trouble standing. That book actually counterbalances him just so. Don't breathe. He looks great, though, standing alongside all of these other characters. I really dig the look of this figure. And here he is with Peter Parker, the highly articulated, highly desirable retro-carded Spider-Man. Possesses the proportionate speed, strength, and sinewy muscles of the Spider, as well as Tony Stark, the Iron Man from the Shang-Chi. It's sort of the classic look. Came with a holographic head, and we put on that 80 years head, because this is what they want you to do. It's what I want to do. Love it. Love it. And then the super throwback Iron Man comes out next year with exactly the tweaks that they omitted from this one, and probably I will buy that one too. Shh. Boondock Saints, and he's smashing that guy's head with the cue ball. What's he saying? What's he saying? Getting a little crazy with the comparisons. We got the Playmates Toys OG Donatello and the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Animated Amalgam Batman. I'm also a genius. Bet they all do machines, though. Am I right? Here are a couple of Marvel Universe figures from a decade ago. That is the Super Deluxe Galactus. I know he's not in frame. I'm just being cheeky. But he does. Ah. That new one is $400 more and does not talk. How about that? That little read, though, is just nasty. They would release a couple of more Mr. Fantastic figures on an updated body with a much better head, but they would never revisit that particular costume, sadly. And finally, we have the Marvel Legends 2 Emo for Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee Mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Pete? It turns out that costume is actually a sentient alien parasite, and it doesn't have your best interests at heart. I really think you should take it off. Suck it, nerd! So, I know this buck is getting a little long in the tooth and in the fingers. It's missing some modern conventions like calf cuts, butterfly shoulders. You don't see those everywhere anyway. He could have fisted hands. He doesn't have anything to grip. And those power effects, I mean, that's on the weak side. Oh, and that's the exact same head that we got how many years ago now? it does look great, but for another $20 plus, you should give us another head. Those Marvel Universe figures, reuse was huge, right? But they were $6.49 when they started, and they always gave you a new head sculpt. All that aside, I am happy to have this iteration of Reed Richards. This classic 80s, whenever they launched this. This is through the 80s and 90s. This is that 30-year culture cycle. They're like, bam, have that. Suck it. Give us all your money, nerds. You know, this will be my polymorph on the shelf, as it were. This is going to be my display Reed. And I'll be swapping heads, putting lab coats on and off of people and stuff, all because of this figure. We'll deal with the finger thing. Maybe he won't even be doing that. He'll probably just be one hand there, behind his back, checking out the ultimate nullifier, neglecting his wife. You know how it goes. Probably could have used another coat of white paint at the top. The 4 logo looks maybe a little plain, one could argue, compared to that retro version. But I don't think there was anything really more to it. You know what I mean? I do like this figure, and the way that we can pull off arms and modify them like that. I wish they'd given us another set of arms and another head. You know what I mean? But I'm afraid this figure is not going to get quite the love I feel it still does deserve. At a price point of $20 to $23, man, this is fantastic. What is Mezco charging for theirs? I'm not knocking that specifically. I mean, all those accessories, that's got to be great. But come on, you get these higher end figures that are 4, 5, 6 times the price, and I just don't think they're that much better. Maybe 50%, even twice as good in some cases, but not 5 times better. Sorry. So for the, quite frankly, lazy reuse here, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5, but power effects are power effects, and he does have this sweet lab coat that'll work on the other iterations of the character. I would bump it up to a 4. 4 out of 5. I do like this figure. If you're still here, still jamming on them toy lips, I love you and you are beautiful. Leave me a like. It's the smart thing to do. And subscribe to the channel. You'll see more nonsense like this. Thank you all for stopping by. And remember, it isn't playing God if you're truly serious about creation.
I got fingers on my lips. Toys that I'm touching, I don't want to put them down. Instead, I want to talk about them. Yes, fresh. Smell the plastic that I crave. I want to shop. I can't be having Bruce Banner. I'm Dr. Rubber Band on Bruce Jenner. And you can call me after dinner. We can talk comic books, but we're here to talk toys. Be proud, make noise.